everyone, and welcome to Booming Encore's Learning Bites. My name is Susan Williams, and I'm the founder of Booming Encore. We all want to live a long and healthy life, and one of the best ways to achieve this is to prevent as many health issues as we possibly can. One of the ways we may be able to actually do this is through preventive health screening. To share more about what preventive health screening is, I'm delighted to welcome Robert Protass from LifeLine Screening to talk to us about this. Welcome, Robert.
Hi, Susan. Thank you for having me.
Well, to start, Robert, why don't we just start off with what exactly is LifeLine Screening? What do you actually do?
So at LifeLine Screening, we do preventative health screenings for stroke, cardiovascular disease, and other chronic illnesses. We've screened over 10 million people over the course of 20 years or so. We're in 13,000 locations throughout the year. We take a localized approach, community-based, where we set up our screening events in churches and synagogues and community centers, medical facilities, and we're screening anywhere from 50 to 90 people per event, and we do about 60 events every day throughout the U.S. And our goal is to provide peace of mind or early detection to our people that we screen.
Wow. Now, when you talk about screening, though, what exactly is that?
Well, we use there's a stat that for 4 out of 5 people who have a stroke, the very first symptom is the actual stroke. And the good news is that 80% of stroke and cardiovascular disease is actually preventable. And so we've designed a screening package that provides peace of mind or early detection. It's simple, it's painless, it's non-invasive, and it's affordable. For $149, you get 5 screenings. The first one is a carotid artery examination, where we take an ultrasound device and place it on your neck and measure the level of plaque in your arteries. And the more plaque that you have, the more vulnerable you are to a stroke. We look at your abdominal aorta. We look for an aneurysm, a ballooning of this large artery in your belly that has the potential to burst. We do a peripheral arterial disease examination, or it's called a PAD test, and it examines the pressure in your arms and ankles to measure your flow. We look at atrial fibrillation, where we'll do an EKG and look for a irregular heartbeat, which is a sign for potential stroke. And then bone density exam, where we look for osteoporosis on your shin bone.
And so who are the people that you would suggest to go through this type of screening?
So generally, we are screening people who are asymptomatic, people that don't yet have symptoms. Insurance typically doesn't cover the people unless they have symptoms, and of course before it's too late. So anyone that's age 50 or older should get screened. You could have other risk factors if you're not 50, such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol. You might have a weight issue, might have been a smoker or a drinker, or a family history of stroke or cardiovascular disease as potential risk factors for a reason to get screened.
And how long does the screening usually take?
So we ask people to put aside 60 to 90 minutes for the screening for beginning to end. And
are these tests not normally done by a regular physician?
So doctors are typically not ordering these tests unless you actually have symptoms, because again, it can be very costly. Insurance doesn't typically cover it, which is why they're not typically ordered. And those screenings can cost thousands of dollars in a hospital if you were to get them. And we make it very affordable for $149 for our screening package.
And then once the results are available, what do you do with them?
So what you would do is take those results to your doctor and come up with a plan. It could be as simple as monitoring. It could be a change in diet or exercise if there were some type of results that were concerning, or surgery if something was fairly extreme.
So is there anything else that you would suggest, Robert, around preventive screening that people should consider?
You know, Susan, there are so many people out there that just don't want to know, and it's such a win-win situation to get screened. You're either going to walk away with peace of mind or early detection so that you can do something about it. The number of people that we find with unmanaged disease every year is enough to fill a football stadium.
Yeah.
And you can do something about it with the knowledge that you have. You can prepare a plan with your doctor. So there's nothing to lose by getting screened.
And the old adage, knowledge is power, is definitely applicable here by the sounds of it.
Yes, absolutely.
I know, and it's strange because as much as, like you said, people don't want to know, but once they do know, then you can actually do something about it, and you have to actually pull your head, out of the sand, face the facts, and actually then take some action to help improve your health, which, if we're all wanting to live a long life, this is really important.
Exactly. So many people will take the time to go to a dentist twice a year to get their teeth checked. But understanding what's happening inside your body, in your arteries, which could be pretty devastating to have a stroke, not just for you, but for your family, is just so important.
So when it comes to actually the timeline on screening, is there an actual time that you would suggest that people get it done? Like, is it an annual thing like you mentioned, or something else?
Yeah, so Susan, we have so many people that do annual screenings. It's going to depend on the severity of your situation, maybe your age, your family history, but it's initially you should get screened if you're 50 or older, or any of those other risk factors. But how often you do it is probably going to depend on your situation. But getting screened annually is not a bad thing.
And no, well, that's some great advice. Thanks so much for your time, Robert. I really appreciate it. You've definitely helped highlight the value of doing some preventive measures, as it relates to our health and aging. And for that, I thank you.
Well, thank you, Susan, for having us.
And to everyone out there, we hope you found this information valuable and it helps you live your best booming encore. Bye for now, everyone.